Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the garden. The weather is starting to warm up here in eastern Washington, so it's time to start resetting the community garden. As you can see, the garden's looking a little bit sad, but it tends to do that in the beginning of the year. Last year, I had a really big issue with bindweed, and weeds in general in this garden. The plot hadn't been used for years, and the weeds had free roam. So when it came to the height of the season, it was really difficult to tell what was garden bed and what was walkway. So this year, I'm making a few changes, starting with this compost pile. This year, I'm going to be expanding my composting efforts. Usually we'll get a load of compost from the city delivered to the community garden, but this compost is usually too hot to use right away, so last year I just applied it at the end of the season. I'm hoping that with some more concentrated efforts on watering and turning my compost piles this year, that I'll be able to amend my beds during the season and get some better growth and some better soil health. One of my favorite parts about gardening in the community garden is obviously the community aspect. This is my garden neighbor John, stopping by to see what I'm up to. I gave him an overview of what my vision was for my garden plot this year, and he so kindly offered to share some of his overwintered beets and carrots with me. And of course I couldn't turn him down, so I went with him and I grabbed a bucket full. I drew up a new configuration for all of my garden beds this year, and it seems like it's going to be quite the task, but I'm all for biting off as much as I can chew. I don't have just a ton of money to be spending on the garden this year, so this project is going to be mostly repurposed materials. I decided to break apart some free pallets I had received, and you can tell that I really don't know how to do this. And at first, I was really stumped, but I think I finally got the hang of it. I'm doing all of this by hand, and I'm not using any fancy tools or anything. I also wasn't very exact with the measurements of my garden frames. And I'm calling them frames because they're not really raised beds. It's just a border between the weeds I can walk on and the weeds I'm not supposed to walk on. I won't be caring for this plot for too many more years. And while I want to be a good steward of this land and care for the plot as well as I can, I really don't want to be putting too much effort, energy, or resources into this plot. I want to be able to hand the next gardener that takes this community garden plot a great garden, a great blueprint for growing what they love. But I also want it to be something that I love in the meantime. So I won't be using fancy tools, and I'll be using all reclaimed materials. And as long as the garden grows food and gives me a place to sit and drink my tea in the morning, it will have done what I need it to do. I can't wait to show you guys all the progress that I make in this garden and share with you everything that I'm learning and everything that I'm growing and inspire you to grow things yourself. Thanks for watching.